Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another instant deck, and we have a fun and very Ikoria-y standard deck to look at today. I'm calling this one Rakdos Megamenace, and it comes to us from Cybertaco, who played it in a recent qualifier on Magic Arena, so congrats to Cybertaco on a really unique deck. And a quick reminder before we break down Rakdos Megamenace for standard. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So one of the unique things, and maybe overshadowed by like companions and mutates of Ikoria, is this weird keyword tribal sub-theme. And this is a deck built around Menace, and it wasn't really possible to build a Menace tribal deck, quote unquote, until Ikoria, because we actually have payoffs for specifically having a certain mechanic, and in this case it is Menace. So why are we playing a Menace tribal deck? And the answer here, number one, is Labyrinth Raptor. Labyrinth Raptor is our big payoff for having a whole bunch of Menace creatures. So a 2-mana 2/2 with Menace, it's fine. Whenever a creature you control with Menace becomes blocked, defending player has to sacrifice a blocking creature, so it makes our Menace creatures, which are already hard to block, even harder to block, and then you can pay 2 mana to pump all your Menace creatures +1/+0. So in the late game, if we can get a few Menace creatures, we can just attack and pump 2 or 3 times, and hopefully just kill our opponent with one big menacing attack. So that's payoff number one. Payoff number two is our Megamenace card, Sonorous Howlbonder. So this 3-mana 2/2 has Menace, but it essentially gives all of our creatures Megamenace. Instead of just being menacing, needing to be blocked by at least 2 creatures, it ups the number to at least 3. So every one of our creatures, for our opponent to block them, they have to put at least 3 creatures in front of them. Maybe we have Labyrinth Raptor too, so our opponent's going to have to sack some of those creatures. So this is another big payoff for playing a bunch of Menace creatures, getting our creatures very close to unblockable. Like with Labyrinth Raptor and Howlbonder, if we can stack up these effects with Menace creatures, our opponent's often just going to have to take damage from our creatures because they're not going to have enough blockers to put 3 in front of each of our creatures and then have to sack them as well. So those are our big payoffs. Then we have a couple of new Menace creatures from Ikoria. Hunted Nightmare. This is a card I wasn't hyped about at first, but if there was ever a deck to make the 3-mana 4/5 into a legit threat, it's going to be this one, the Menace tribal deck, because a 3-mana 4/5, it's already good. Having to get blocked by 2 or maybe even 3 creatures makes it really hard for opponents to interact with. Yes, we do have to give one of our opponent's creatures Death Touch. That is a drawback, but in a deck that really values Menace like ours, I think it's worth it just because the body is so big and it has our namesake mechanic. Then we have Grimdancer, which is kind of like this weird ground-bound version of Vampire Nighthawk almost. 3-mana 3/3, and then when it comes into play, we can give it Menace along with either Death Touch and Lifelink. We could choose Death Touch and Lifelink, but really we wanted to have Menace because we're Menace tribal. So with 3 mana, like menacing Lifelinker or menacing Death Toucher for 3 mana, that's already a really great deal. The rest of our Menace creatures are not from Ikoria. We have Stormfist Crusader, which is our card advantage spell, and kind of like a weird burn spell, just another 2-mana 2/2 with Menace, makes each player draw a card on our upkeep and take a damage. Since we're going to be the aggro deck in most matchups, we're fine with that. We're drawing more Menace creatures, more Menace payoffs. Our opponent's losing some life. Yes, they get a card, which, whatever, but ideally we'll be able to use that card more effectively than our opponent. And then Dreadmaw Kid, kind of weird, just a 1-mana 1/1, but it does have Menace, so it works with our theme, and we can always pay 3 and sack a creature to put counters on it. Normally, we don't want to do this too often. Like, we're not built around sacrificing stuff. We're definitely not a sacrifice themed deck. But if our opponent's going to, like, kill one of our Stormfist Crusaders, let's say, with a removal spell, and we have extra mana, drawing our Dreadmawkin is a fine play in that context. So that's our Menace package. Then we have Embercleave. And Embercleave, it's just a really good card if you're going aggressive. And in our deck, since we are going to have Menace and sometimes Megamenace, it's even more threatening because our creatures are often going to be completely unblocked. So we play Embercleave, we pump it, we're hitting for a massive chunk of damage to maybe just kill our opponent on the spot. We also have some weird removal. One of the other new additions to this deck is Tentative Connection. Tentative Connection is the best threaten ever printed if you have a Menace creature. If you have a Menace creature, it's just 1 mana, steal a creature, give it haste until end of turn. Yes, we do have to give give it back, but ideally we steal our opponent's biggest creature, just swing with the team and close out the game. At 4 mana it's overcosted, but at 1 mana it is literally the best version of this effect ever printed in Magic's history, and perfect for an aggressive deck like ours. Heartless Act to give us some removal, light up the stage, card draw, churning through a deck, find more Menace threats. As far as the mana base, pretty typical stuff, some dual lands, a Castle Lockwing, some basic lands. As far as the sideboard, we get a ton more removal. Redcap, Melee, Fry, Noxious Grasp, depending on the matchup, bring it in for the right color of deck. Angrass Rampage gets anything including Planeswalkers. Farika's Libation can snag an enchantment, which is relevant against like fires, against decks like Wilderness Reclamation. Extinction Event, kind of hilarious, especially if you run into like Garuda or an Obosh odds or even deck where this is just a hard wrath that exiles all their stuff, but it can be good in other matchups as well. Blight Beetle for green decks, Grafdigger's Cage, kind of wish the deck had more, really good against Luris and also Garuda decks, and that is Rakdos Megamenace for Standard, and that's been our instant deck for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. If you enjoyed today's deck, make sure to purchase it from our sponsor, Card Kingdom. For a limited time, you can get a Scoop Soldier sticker for free if you mention Scoop Soldier in your order notes during checkout. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.